During the War of the Ancients, Queen Ashara led her people down a dangerous path, allying themselves with the Burning Legion. Elisande stood against her queen, creating the Nightwell to power a shield strong enough to protect her people. The Legion is back and the shield is down. She has looked into the future, and the only visible way to save her people is to ally herself with the enemy she stood against 10,000 years ago. Elisande has developed a mastery of time. She will cause you to repeat the fight 3 times, each time gaining new abilities, while past images of herself continue to cast spells from the previous phases.
Ablation is a stacking dot that tanks will want to swap after a few stacks. She will summon 2 adds. Focus down the blue add, which is stationary. It will spawn a slow time zone when it dies. The pink elemental does increasing raid damage and will drop a zone that will speed up time. Moving into this zone will give you a haste and movement speed buff, which you can use to help push the phase.
You will use these zones for multiple reasons throughout the fight. The first will be to allow for an opening to be created within the Arcanetic Ring. Elisande will teleport and then summon a ring of orbs. Move between the blue zone and the boss. As they pass through, the zone will slow down a few orbs, creating an opening in the ring that your raid can slide through.
She will also be spawning panning singularities, which will explode and leave behind puddles. Standing within the puddle will reduce its size but cause a high amount of damage. Either use a defensive cooldown or step in and out to allow your healers time to heal you and soak the puddle.
When she reaches 10% health, she will rewind time and start the fight over. There will be residual images of herself, which will cast the spells from the previous phase.
During phase 2, Ablation will now cause your tank to explode. Run the explosion away from the raid while the other tank taunts.
Orbs will fall out of black void zones that appear above the encounter area. Stand under them before they hit the ground to cancel the raid-wide damage.
She will also target several players, then fire a beam in each direction. Simply move out of the arrows if not targeted. On Heroic, more of these blasts occur.
At 10%, she will reset time once again, sending your team into the final phase. All of the abilities from the previous 2 phases will be replicated. The tank debuff can now be interrupted. Do your best to interrupt them all, but have tank swap if one does go off.
She will debuff players with Conflexive Burst, which will explode when the debuff times out. Stagger the explosions by having one debuff player step into the fast time zone, while the other steps into the slow time.
Permulative Torment will do increasing ticking damage to debuff targets. Mixed with all the other damage going out this phase, these players will need special attention from the healers.
Due to everything piling up in the last phase, things will become extremely hectic. Focus on limiting the amount of damage the raid is taking by dodging, absorbing, or mitigating, and you will break Elisande's rewind button.
This has been Tatva
And Tovo with 2-minute tips by Line of Sight Gaming. You can check out our other Nighthold guides by clicking on any of these links.
If you found this guide helpful, please like and share this video. Subscribe to get notified of our future videos, and visit our Patreon page to help us continue to put out new content. Thanks for watching.
Will you defeat the Legion? Will you fail?